Kill them with kindness or death by 1,000 cuts? How do you handle a narcissist when you can't just walk away, like a bus or a classroom or even a girl's trip? I saw this question in the Narcissist Bosses subreddit, and the thread was full of debate around two strategies. But then I fell asleep and I had a dream, and it showed me a third option that completely changed how I thought about dealing with narcissists. My dream gave me this narcissist. Let's call her Helena. And I'm just going to say she is a massive narcissist in waking life. When I woke up, I knew it was about more than just how ridiculous Helena is in waking life. It was about the whole pattern, me included. So today, I'm doing this a little different. I'm going to walk you through the dream itself because it's going to be a perfect teaching tool. And don't lose me here if you're simply not accustomed to learning from your dreams, because that doesn't mean that this isn't about to be valuable. Come on with me for this. In the dream, she came right when I was in a class that was really super interesting, and she had all this money on her, heavy gold coins and these red gambling chips, the kind that you win and then you have to go exchange for actual money. And I was being extra nice to her, extra accommodating, carrying her money for her. I said, I'll get you a drink. While I'm out there getting her some juice, I find this watermelon lemonade for myself. And it's beautiful. It's layered pink on top and yellow on bottom. And I bring it back and she sort of receives it, but it was for me. So I don't know what I was doing with that whole thing. Then at one point, she goes to choose a bed and she picks my bed and she lays her stuff there. And the whole time I had these quiet motivational thoughts running underneath everything saying, yeah, I can do this. So I really had to pump myself up for that. And it was very unnatural. Here are what I call the soft symbols from the dream that I'm going to decode for you. The narcissists themselves, revenge, picking my bed, heavy gold coins, gambling chips, being accommodating, and the pink and yellow layered lemonade. First, why would this person in particular show up in your dreams? Dreams do this all the time. They borrow a face that you know to show you a pattern that you're living. So when someone like Helena is in your dream, she's the narcissist archetype, standing in for every narcissist that you've ever had to deal with. Your boss, your parent, your ex, your sibling, whatever. Next, the symbol of revenge. And oh, she was actually a horribly narcissistic, vengeful boss. This I know about her too. And that's where the first strategy that was discussed in the Reddit thread came into my dream. To deal with a narcissist by getting quiet revenge, using strategic, small, invisible ways to get even. And this is how Helena is in waking life. So no, when I deal with a narcissist, I'm not going to play their game, even though I have done that in the past. I've learned that it's just not a good strategy. It doesn't work, and it just pulls you down to their level. It's not becoming, not at all. Picking my bed. One way the dream showed how slick the narcissist is about getting revenge is in how she was getting all up in my stuff. She showed up at my place, disrupted my plans, and laid her stuff on my bed. The next symbol is heavy gold coins. The coins are the narcissist's currency, and I don't mean money. Narcissists trade in something more primitive: admiration, attention, emotional reaction, supply. That is what the coins are. They are valuable, but they come with heaviness, and that's why they were heavy in the dream. In the narcissist economy, their attention is gold, their approval is treasure, and their drama is the stock market. And if you've ever been close to one, you know how easy it is to get pulled into that economy without even realizing it. You start trading in their currency, you want their approval, you fear their criticism, you shape your behavior around their reactions. Now, the red gambling chips, this one took me a minute. With gambling chips, you only have chips if you played, and you only play if you think that you might win something. The chips mean that I didn't just get taken by the narcissist. I entered a game with her. Even though I came out with something, these gambling chips have no value. They only work inside the narcissist economy and at their whim. They can devalue it at any moment, and that's why you feel like you walk on eggshells around them. They have this thing with them that appears to have value, like stick with me, carry my cross, and you'll be desirable. The narc has something about them that they manipulate others around them to make them think that they don't hold any value unless the narcissist says that they have value. So I'm walking around with these red gambling chips when what I need is my own money to carry my own value with me and not to give it away. And in the dream, I was also carrying her money for her. That means I was doing the emotional labor. Narcissists offload on you their chaos, their needs, their unregulated emotions, and you carry it. But why do we do this? Well, because we're kind. We like people to be comfortable. We don't like to see someone stressed out. And that's something that we as chronic narcissists need to deal with. And while that's a whole other video, the process of healing from a narcissist is definitely going to help you overcome being a narcissist, being accommodating. When you're accommodating, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, that is general good humanness, but it can be a tool that the narcissist is happy to use against you. And here's how I'm the narcissist in the dream. She didn't ask me to carry anything. I offered. That's not about her. That's about the part of me that overgives before anyone even asks. That's actually harder to look at because there's no villain to blame. And that's in essence the second strategy that people were debating in the Reddit thread, the kill them with kindness strategy. But this dream revealed what's wrong with that strategy. She wasn't demanding any of this. She wasn't aggressive or pushy like she would be in waking life. She didn't ask for anything, and I still did all of it. So she didn't earn it, and maybe she didn't even want it or need it. But because she's a narcissist, she just expected it, and it was given. So when you do this, you don't kill people with kindness. You fulfill them at your expense. You get to feel valuable or appear that way, like in the dream, how I'm carrying her money, but it's not mine. I don't get to keep it. She gets to keep all the value. The pink and yellow layered lemonade, and I have to pause on this one because I've actually made a whole video about lemon dreams. And in that video, I said something pretty specific, that making lemonade out of lemons in a dream usually means that you're in survival mode. You're sweetening something that's naturally sour instead of facing it. You're trying to make the best of something without dealing with what's actually hurting you. I even said, why do you care if people find your lemons palatable? This life is for you, not for how people perceive you. But in this dream, lemonade is a little different. I didn't make it for Helena. I found it for myself while I was on a self-imposed errand to get her some juice. This drink for me was layered, colored, and beautiful, and I was almost embarrassed to have it. Like I wasn't supposed to get something for myself on a trip that was meant to serve her. Not to harp on this one too much, but you might be asking why this lemonade in particular? What about the layers? Yada, yada, yada. Well, colors are really important in dreams. If you've ever seen anything about chakras, you know that pink and green often show the heart chakra being activated, and yellow is about the solar plexus or the sun. Since they were layered, I was carrying around with me the idea that those two powerful forces within myself are separate things. Whatever was happening in my life at the time of the dream, or whatever patterns that I was needing to stop repeating, the answer is to blend. So while dealing with narcissists, use a healthy combination of kindness and self-confidence, that's the heart and the solar plexus, and I was supposed to give this power to myself, but I easily gave it away. And again, she didn't even ask for it, nor did she want it. So it clearly showed how we narcissists give our power away. What about the third option? The dream didn't pick either one. Neither option in that Reddit thread worked for me. And I felt that split within myself, and I think a lot of us do, because the kindness route, it can feel noble, but it can also feel like you're abandoning yourself. And the revenge route, it can feel satisfying, but it can also feel like you're feeding the very dynamic that you're trying to escape. So going back to lemons and dreams, you know the old saying, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Be sweet, be polite, make yourself palatable. Why do you care about catching flies? The kindness strategy, that's catching flies with honey. The revenge strategy, that's vinegar. But both strategies are still about the narcissist. Both are still reactions to them. Did you find the third strategy in the dream? Tell me in the comments what your strategy is. So I alluded to it without really clarifying it, because the message is actually woven in throughout the entire fabric of this dream, as dreams do. Here's what the dream showed me. It's not honey and it's not vinegar. It's realizing that while you're moving through their world, while you're still carrying old patterns of overgiving, you can still find something real and bring it back to yourself. The lemonade I brought back in this dream, it was for me. I went on an errand that I thought was for her, and I came back with something that was mine. The voice underneath the dream wasn't, I'll get her back, and it wasn't, I'll be so nice, she can't hurt me. It was just, yeah, I can do this. And that's capacity, not kindness, not revenge. The narcissist forced me to grow enough to contain the situation without being consumed by it. And the growth wasn't something that they gave me on purpose. It was something I found while I was on their errand. And here's the winnings around those red gambling chips. You only have chips if you played the game, and you played the game because on some level you were trying to win something, or at least you knew something of value was at stake. But often when we get stuck with a narcissist, we don't feel like we're winning anything. But what if you actually did win? And you didn't have to bring yourself down to their level or do something unnatural to your character or put your own needs in the corner. And don't tell them, because they're going to be very upset when they find out that they left something of value on the table. Okay, so let me see if I can put this into words about how you are actually the winner. The narcissist is a mirror, not a kind mirror, not a mirror you asked for, but a mirror nonetheless. They show you where you abandon yourself, and sometimes the narcissist isn't even pushing. Sometimes they're just standing there and you still hand yourself over. That's not about them anymore. That's the pattern the dream is asking you to see. They show you where your boundaries are porous. Why are they in your bed? And why aren't you saying anything? They show you what you're still willing to trade for approval, for peace, for avoiding conflict. They show you the strength that you didn't know that you had because you are handling it. That quiet voice, yeah, I can do this. It's been there the whole time. So here's the exchange. You don't defeat the narcissist. You don't submit to them either. You take what their presence taught you and convert it into something that holds value in your economy. Their need for control, exchange it for your clarity about what you won't tolerate anymore. Their emotional chaos, exchange it for your mastery of your own nervous system. You learned to stay centered now in a storm, and that's worth more than their gold. Their projection, all the things they accuse you of that aren't true, exchange it for self-knowledge. The moment you can say, oh, that's them and not me, that's a level of discernment most people never develop. The drama they create, exchange it for your ability to stay steady, to not get pulled in, to watch without being consumed. Your own pattern of overgiving, the part of you that accommodates even when nobody's demanding, exchange it for your awareness. Now you can see it. Now you can choose. These are real skills, real growth. And the narcissist, whether they meant to or not, was the training ground. And I think, and this might resonate or it might not, but I'll offer it, I think there's a spiritual layer here. The narcissist isn't just a toxic person to escape. They're a soul level assignment. Someone who shows up to teach you something only they could teach you. Because in the dream and in waking life, they were able to get really close. They hit you in places that you didn't even know you had. They got in your bed. That's intimate. That's inner work. That's showing you that the person you need to face isn't out there at all. And I've been thinking about this dream all day, and the thing that keeps coming back to me, just the overarching message, is that the narcissist's greatest gift to you has nothing to do with them. And I'm not saying that the narcissist is really a blessing. I'm not saying that you should stay. I'm saying that even inside the pattern, even while you're still overgiving, still accommodating, still figuring out your boundaries, you can find something real. You can bring something back to yourself. You don't need the narcissist to change. You don't need them to apologize. Just look at the situation and know quietly and honestly that you can do this because of who you've become. If you're dealing with a narcissist right now, a boss, a parent, an ex, someone you can't just walk away from, it's not really a simple answer, but do just grab a quick discovery session with me and we'll talk. At least you can ask yourself, what layered, beautiful thing might you bring back from this? Not for them, but for me, for you. If dreams interest you like they interest me, I make videos like this very often. Subscribe if that's your kind of thing. It would certainly help me reach more people. That's how the algo works. And if you've ever had a dream that you felt like it was trying to teach you something about a narcissist or anything, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Sometimes the dream really is smarter than the waking mind. Keep moving with it.